Mission Pro Wrestling, the symbol of excellence in women's sports entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Mission Pro family, welcome to the 2024 Mission Pro Spotlight Awards, the first ever Spotlight Awards, not to be confused with the Mission Pro Wrestling Awards, which will come later this January. It's kind of like the People's Choice and the Oscars. You know, we're the People's Choice, sort of. Anyways, I am Mind Runner, and with me tonight on this elegant evening is my co-hostess with the mostest. She is La Hermosa de Picosa. She is the most deadly co-host with a kendo stick flag. She is none other than Angel Marie with the sparkly dress that we can barely see. Angel Marie, how you doing?
I am doing great. I'm so excited that our first show of the year is going to be Mission Pro Spotlight, the first ever Mission Pro Spotlight Awards. I'm so freaking excited to be hosting this. And yeah, that's, you never know who might end up showing up. So Stay tuned, guys.
You never know. We may have a special guest coming later this evening. We have a lot of pomp and circumstance. But of course, it is a time for celebration. Happy New Year's, Pepe. Happy New Year's, Phantasm. And I've got a little bit of the bubbly here.
I got water.
Cheers. Cheers.
Water in a Gatorade bottle.
Cheers to 2025. It's going to be fantastical for Mission Pro. And this is the best Dr. Pepper I've ever tasted. Excellent. All right, but we are here to celebrate the year that was for women's wrestling around the globe, and to honor and recognize those individuals and tag teams and everybody out there that has been supporting women's wrestling. Super excited. And I would like to say that the Mission Pro Spotlight Award is the symbol of recognition of, if you receive a Mission Pro Spotlight Award, that is letting you know they have our seal of approval, that they are exactly our kind of people, our kind of entity. We are very, very critical. And we almost, to the showtime, we were debating the winners of these categories. It was not, was it easy, Angel?
Not at all. Oh my gosh, it was so difficult having to choose, because you're like, on one hand, this person should win the award, but then on the other hand, this person should win the award, and so it's like, it's crazy. But we finally came down to a decision on all of our awards. So
very good.
Yay.
Very good. Advice for Pepe: you got to stay hydrated. Stephen Green, happy New Year to you, Stephen. And Phantasm, I understand that you and Izzy have met Hunter, the Phantasm's underdog. I heard that was awesome. So without further ado,
love Hunter.
We're going to get to, this is the best of 2024 Spotlight Awards. We're going to get to the first category, and all of these have been tough, but this was one of the ones that we were, I don't want to say we're arguing, but politely, intellectually debating. But this is for Women's Wrestler of the Year. By the way, let us know in the chat your thoughts. Who do you think should win? The nominees are Mariah May from AEW, Liv Morgan, WWE, Willow Nightingale, AEW. Timeless Tony Storm, AEW. Rhea Ripley, WWE. The Juggernaut Jordan Grace, currently of TNA, possibly somewhere else very soon. And of course, WWE's own Chelsea Green. All right, let's talk about how tough this was, Angel. Your thoughts on the nominees. Who were the standouts on this list to you?
Yeah, I mean, all of these are standouts. They're all huge superstars. But for me, three of the biggest standouts were probably Mariah May, Liv Morgan, and Toni Storm. You know, Liv was definitely like carrying the women's division on her back. She was doing so much this year, so much with Rhea Ripley and not really anyone else, but I digress. She did, she defended her title a lot of times. And then going over to Toni, Toni, crazy character work. Like, absolutely props to her, because the amount of just like sheer talent she has to be able to make something that like you'd never think would be a wrestling gimmick and turn it into a wrestling gimmick is crazy. Like, I never thought that I'd see like a freaking old Hollywood, glamorous, timeless Toni Storm. I would have never thought that. But she delivered, for sure. She delivered. And then with Mariah, she also had an absolutely crazy year too, teaming with Toni, and then, turning on Toni and having the whole glamour thing. It was crazy. And I mean, all these other ladies definitely had great years as well. But for me, it was honestly down to those three.
I am with you for the most part. Again, this was our debate. I love both Mariah May, Toni Storm have had a fantastic 2024. Timeless Toni Storm has since retired from wrestling after her Japan and Mexico tour.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the rookie that just signed with AEW, Toni Storm. The rookie. I've heard good things about her.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comparisons. There's a lot of, I think, unfair comparisons between Toni Time and Timeless Toni Storm. I was really part of my polite debate was for the Juggernaut. I felt like Jordan Grace has really transcended the Forbidden Door, showing up at the Royal Rumble, then again doing several tours of NXT. I do think, though, 2025 is going to be a year for Jordan Grace. But I feel like there is one out of this group that just clearly has had the best 2024, has had the most matches of any of the women on this roster. So without further ado, let's announce the winner for Wrestler of the Year. And it is Mariah May. Very close. It could have been Toni. There's a lot of great cases I see in the chat. Toni Storm, people choosing Liv Morgan, the Juggernaut. However, we're going with Mariah May. Number one, she is the current AEW champion. She has had multiple defenses through her victory, including defending against Thunder Rosa, with that getting the Thunder Rosa a W over Thunder, a huge accomplishment. But she has strategically worked her from newbie rookie to AEW champion in such a short time. She also holds the record of the most wins by a female competitor in AEW, and I believe in all of wrestling currently right now. So, well, maybe Masha Slamovich has more, but she is our clear winner. Congratulations, Mariah May. You are our Wrestler of the Year. Angel Marie, would you like to introduce the next topic?
I would be honored to. So this is our Women's Tag Team of the Year. So we got a lot of independent talent on here, but we also have some mainstream. So First off, we have Fire and Fury, Nova Phoenix, and Morgan Mercy. The King Bees, Danny B and Charity King. The Ladybirds, believe she's Ladybird Monroe,
Yep.
and then Gigi Ray.
Hmm.
The Unholy Union, which is Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, and then Storm EST, which is Bianca Belair and Jade Cargo.
And this was another one of those tough debates. It came down to a couple. It came down to three, and then we had to eliminate one because of current injuries and whatnot. But I mean, we got to give props to these other teams. I mean, the Ladybirds, the Ladybirds, not the Ladybirds, the Moneybirds. I mean, this was one of those tag teams that kind of came out of nowhere, but have been phenomenal. They've really been dominating, and it's been incredible to watch them rise up. The tandem of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill has been fantastic to watch. However, what's going on with Bianca and Trinity and with Jade on the bench right now, it's a little bit weird to see if that tag team is going to continue. Got to give props to Unholy Union, but for us, I think you would agree that our biggest debate was between Fire and Fury and the King Bees. Case for Fire and Fury is they have dominated.
Sure.
Even though they got an L in their first ever tag team match, they came back and they used strategery to secure the Mission Pro Cup and then sneak in and win the women's the Mission Pro Tag Team Championships, which they have been defending like Izzy out in the Indies while Mission Pro has been on hiatus. However, you also have the King Bees, not only Mission Pro Women's Champions, NWA Champions. They have been having a fantastic year. So, without further ado, let us announce the winner of Women's Tag Team of the Year. The King Bees. I hope you're not allergic. It is the King Bees. Bzz, bzz, bzz. It has to be the King Bees. Fantastic, hands down. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Honorable mention. I mean, if Fire and Fury had formed earlier in the year, I think it could have been them. But there we go. King Bees, Women's Tag Team of the Year. How do you feel about this win? Are you okay with this one, Angel?
I definitely am. And like we were saying, it was super close getting down to the King Bees and Fire and Fury because, yes, Fire and Fury are the current Mission Pro Tag Team champs, but the King Bees have been together for like a lot longer and they have absolutely dominated. They were the NWA Tag Team champions while also being the Mission Pro Tag Team champions, and they just had an awesome year. So I'm here for this, It was super hard picking this, like with a lot of the categories, like we were saying, but I do think that the King Bees really do deserve the Women's Tag Team of the Year.
Absolutely. Let's go on to Rising Star of 2024. This was a particular. We got to explain this particular one. This is kind of breakout star, but we wanted to include wrestlers that have been on the grind longer than a year. This isn't like Rookie of the Year. This is Rising Star. These are wrestlers that have really been just blowing up on the indie scene, whether they're on AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, TNA. They've been just blowing up everywhere, and these are rising stars that we know they're going to be next level. We're going to see even greater things in 2025. So the nominees are our hero Eric Ademia, Brittany Brooks, Viva Van, who just recently, I believe, was signed with AEW, Lily Pescadita Ruiz, love her, by the way, Jada Stone, the Spark, La Chica de la Ola Ola, our good friend, Miss Nair Robles, and then of course La Chica Más Picosa, Calientita. And looks like the chat says, some say Viva Van. Courtney says, how come JP Harlow's not on this list? Okay, thank you, Courtney. We got Callie and Titlo. Good, Fartlow's not there.
Okay.
Callie's rooting, or Courtney's rooting for Callie. All right, your thoughts on the on these. Who were the standouts in this Rising Star list? Who do you think? What are your thoughts on the participants here, and who do you think is deserving of these nominations?
Yeah, no, all the ladies on this list definitely are rising stars. Brittany Brooks did not really, get to do too much this year because she did unfortunately get injured. She's coming back though, so I love that for her. Erica, we had on the show, Lily, Jada, obviously Nair, good friend. And obviously Viva has been doing so much lately too. So it was kind of, it was a little bit difficult, but honestly, like, Callie really stands out to me. I mean, she's mi hermana, obviously, you know what I mean? But
No
I mean,
bias at all.
yeah, like Jada also had a really great year, she got a lot of publicity too. Oh yeah, no bias. But like, and Jada like had a crazy year too, getting shouted out at I believe it was a WrestleMania press conference by Bailey. And then, Nair had a great year too, from what I had seen. But so it was kind of a hard decision, but I may or may not have gotten to meet up with our winner and had a nice little, I got to deliver her the news, and so I think we should announce the winner
without giving away too much. And I think it's safe to say that all of these superstars are going to have a tremendous 2025. But without further ado, let's announce the rising star of 2024.
Hey, Spotlight fans, I am here with La Chica Más Picosa, Calientita.
Hi, hola.
Hey, how you doing?
Feeling good, feeling spicy. Y'all see my championships?
Heck
I'm doing great.
Miss
I'm doing
Champ.
great. Campeona. Yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
I love it. Okay, so as La Campeona, there is a really, really huge honor that we need to give you. Okay. So on Mission Pro Spotlight, we're having our year-end awards. So I am here to tell you that you have won the Rising Star of the Year award from Mission Pro Spotlight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, come on. Well, what else can I win this year? I'm so good at everything I do. You see that? Breakout Star of 2024 and 2025.
Ooh.
We're just going to be the star of the year. Okay.
Alrighty. You got anything else to tell the fans?
Not really. Just continue to keep an eye out on La Chica Más Picosa because, you blink and you might miss me. Because I'm going places, okay? I'm going straight to the top.
Exactly. She's quick with it. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Callie.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yes, perfect indeed. La Chicas, La Hermanas Más Picosas, get the flaming hot Cheetos out because our winner is indeed Calientita. No bias, by the way. I mean, we had to really check our bias at the door. I grilled Angel Marie to make sure her bias wasn't there. But yes, I mean, Calientita has been crushing it. If you watch RCW, if you're watching, Hybrid School of Wrestling, if you're paying attention to the Texas wrestling scene, you definitely can see that there's sky's the limit with this girl, with Calientita. I think well deserved. But again, there's so many other Viva Van. There's so many others that are going to have a tremendous 2025. But I do think we're going to see great things from Calientita, especially 2025. By the way, check out Mission Pro Wrestling. There's a poll up. Should Mission Pro Wrestling return? Yeah, of course. So make sure you vote on that. All right.
Yes.
Angel Marie, would you like to introduce the next contestants or nominees? Category.
Yep. Alrighty. So we got Media Personality of the Year. So up here we got Miss Eliana, Veda Scott, Emily May, TK Trinidad, Lexi Nair, and I completely forgot the last
Sam Laterna.
the last
Sam
nominee's
Laterna.
name. I apologize.
Well, I want to go ahead and start
There you
off
go, there
by
you go.
vouching for Sam Laterna. She is, I think she's one of the most underrated media personalities out there, because she has not only, and I believe she's now currently working with TNA, but she has really been on the hustle out there. She's great on commentary, great with media interviews. She's very personable, and she's one that's going to be one to watch for 2025. Of course, Eliana, we love her to pieces. And Eliana is like, I compare her to Justin Roberts in that she's much more than just an announcer. She's like an MC. You know, I mean, I think anybody that's been to a Mission Pro show would agree that she interacts with the crowd, and then she gets, she makes sure everybody's not bored. And that's a huge thing, because when there's a lot in between matches, you need to keep them entertained. Of course, Angel Marie, your thoughts on Veda Scott and TK Trinidad? I mean, they are deserving as well.
Yes, for sure. Like, everyone in this category is in there for a reason, but there are definitely some standouts because, Veda, oh my gosh, so amazing on commentary, like, absolutely blows it out of the water. Eliana, like you said, does, like, it definitely interacts with the crowd and always makes sure everyone's up and everyone's hyped. And then you got everyone yelling back at her, rah! So she definitely keeps people engaged. TK, we just got through talking to TK, awesome. Same thing, Lexi, Lexi's been killing it. But one of the other standouts, like, I mean, Veda definitely stands out to me, but one of the other standouts is, huge here with Mission Pro. She used to host the weekly show that we had for Mission Pro, but since Mission Pro's been on hiatus, that show also went on hiatus. So definitely a huge one on here is Emily May, because Emily May has done so much for, not just Mission Pro, but just like so much just in general. She's done ring announcing, she's done commentating, she got acknowledged by The Rock. Like,
Yeah,
that's crazy. The Tribal Bay. I'm like, it's absolutely crazy.
Shout out in the chat. We got Zach, my Minger. Also, Courtney's in the chat. And Trenda. Hey, Trenda. Good to see you. Left Coast representing. So, without further ado, let's get to the winner for Media Personality of the Year. Acknowledge the Tribal Bay, of course. Acknowledge the Tribal Bay. You've got to over media. I believe she's in Japan right now, covering the New Japan events this weekend, I believe, as well as we've seen her. She got acknowledged by The Rock. That's where the whole Tribal Bay has come in. And we're looking forward to when On a Mission returns. She's been crushing it everywhere. So Emily May, the Tribal Bay, acknowledge her. Excellent. And let's move on to, now, this is a Mission Pro specific category. This is only to Mission Pro Wrestler of the Year. So this nominees are Callion Tita, who I think we're familiar with, Shay Carmichael, the klepto of the Mission Pro Cup, Queen Uju, Her Majesty, Denise Day, the Dreamcatcher, Maya World, La Princesa Tiffany Nieves, and everyone's BFF, Izzy Moreno. Now, we get along great, Angel Marie and I. this was a heated debate. And again, we had to put BFFs and my bias towards Tiffany Nieves. Although I present a good case, she presents a good case. We present a good case for most of these talents. All of these nominees are deserving. Tell us a little bit. How hard was it to put your Were you able to put your BFF aside? BFFisms aside to think clearly about Izzy, and you can and your thoughts on Tiffany.
Yeah, it was extremely hard to put my BFF, she's literally my BFF. So I'm like, I want her to win, obviously, right? But I'm like, gotta put the bias aside, gotta be unbiased here. If I want to be a good hostess, put all the bias aside towards Tiffany and then towards Izzy. For sure towards Izzy. But no, all of these ladies definitely are, they deserve to be on, nominees of Mission Pro Wrestler of the Year. They had amazing years with Mission Pro Wrestling and also outside of Mission Pro Wrestling. Mm-hmm. But, definitely two of the standouts. Tiffany Nieves, La Princesa, and then everyone's BFF, Izzy Moreno. Both Mission Pro champions this past year, and both absolutely killed it.
Absolutely. Now, I made the argument about Tiffany Nieves. She was, if you haven't had a chance, she was featured on SportsIllustrated.com and an exclusive article. So for them to go out of their way to feature Tiffany, she's killing it with NWA. She had an incredible match with Natalia Markova. You got to go check that out. Also Izzy, of course. So it's and Maya World was one half of the tag team champions briefly for a little bit. But without further ado, let's get to the winner of Mission Pro Wrestler of the Year. It is your girl, Izzy. Your girl, Izzy Moreno. What a journey that Izzy has made from when she was that little girl bullied by Mercedes Moné at the time, Sasha Banks. Now she has worked hard, she has earned it, and she continues to defend that Mission Pro title, including, if you haven't checked out Ladies Night Out 14, you got to see her incredible match with Carolina Cruz. I actually thought Carolina was going to win. Izzy pulls out her armbar. She does this almost Will Ospreay style flip and grabs the armbar, and then almost like a Bryan Danielson submission. That armbar is deadly. To the point where even Carolina, I love it. Carolina Cruz was shocked that she lost. She couldn't believe that she lost. So definitely check that out. So
yes,
congratulations, Izzy. Well deserved. Let's move on to Banger of the Year. Speaking of incredible matches, we have had such incredible women's matches all year long. There's been so many bangers. As you know, one of our gimmicks is Banger of the Week, but we're talking about Banger of the Year. There were 5 that came to mind. Now, again, I'm sure there's some, and we have some recency bias that some of the, there's some that earlier in the year that we may have forgotten, but these were the matches we feel crushed it in 2024. The nominees, of course, Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander. Now, we put the Full Gear one on here, but I could argue that the World's End match may actually be the Banger of the Year, because that actually has broken the record for the longest women's match in AEW history, over 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible match. But then again, we've got to talk about the first women's cage match in Alabama history. Tiffany Nieves, Natalia Markova. Don't sleep on either one of these. Of course, we know about our girl Tiffany La Princesa, But Natalia Markova, she's not just a pretty face. Girl's got graps, and she definitely has. She's willing to risk that pretty face with a nice little shiner that she received at the hands of Tiffany. But what about? But we also included All In, Angel. What are your thoughts on the other matches?
Yeah, no, honestly, from the other matches, I mean, Jordan and Masha put on an absolute banger, but one of like the top contenders for this award, in my opinion, was definitely Tony versus Mariah. I mean, crazy. Absolutely crazy,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, like you said, you could argue that you could put the other Mercedes and Chris match, but that I really like the full gear one too. But honestly, one of my favorites off this whole thing was Tony and Mariah. Either that or, the going back to Mercedes and Chris, because honestly, match was crazy. You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
freaking, oh my gosh, off the charts.
And I do want to make sure that we mention the Layla Hirsch Diamante match was it. That's a sleeper hit because ROH doesn't get a lot of mentions like it should. Hopefully they'll get an ROH TV deal. I think part of the thought behind Chris Jericho and becoming the champion, and they've got Athena. I think they're going to try to get more eyeballs on Ring of Honor. But I will say this: if you get a chance to check out Ring of Honor, Diamante Layla Hirsch, that was an incredible match. All of these were incredible, but let's get to it. Let's get to the banger of the year, ladies and gentlemen. The winner is it is All In, Tony Storm, Mariah May, banger of the year, Wembley Stadium. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Let's go ahead and move on, though. We've got to talk about the next category, similar to Banger of the Year. Banger of the Year focuses mostly on the matches themselves. But this next category, Feud of the Year. Now, there have been a lot of incredible feuds this past year, but we wanted to highlight some the feuds that have really stood out to us as far as the back and forth that they've had. Starting off with Mariah May and Tony Storm, banger of the year, also an incredible feud. Then, of course, the magic that has been Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. I know some people have been a little bit sick of this feud. I think we're getting ready to start to move on from this, but that has been just a slammer of a feud all year long. Then, of course, Michin versus Chelsea Green, which is continuing now that Chelsea has won the U.S. title. It looks like we're continuing this feud, but that if you get a chance to go back and watch that dumpster match, that was one for the ages. The Deonna Purrazzo Thunder Rosa match, a feud, that was one that we felt like, at some point, like, come on, somebody's got to stop her from cheating. But that's when we got to see Thunder Rosa wow everybody with that, using the table as a ramp to do her double kick the first time. And she finally was able to take down Deonna Purrazzo and deliver the punta booting that she needed, that she deserved. And then we've got to talk about champion versus future champion, La Princesa versus BFF, Izzy Moreno. The back and forth here, the one thorn in La Princesa's side was the rising up-and-coming star, Izzy Moreno. Incredible feud. Incredible. Let us know in the chat, which one do you think should win? We've got some people saying Chelsea and Mia. We've got you got Chelsea and Michin was fire. We've also got Morgan and Ripley, then Thunder Rosa Deonna, Thunder Deonna, Tiffany and Izzy. There's a lot. Livy and Mommy. Whichever one Fartlow got involved with. A lot of different votes here. A lot of people saying different things. Looks like whichever one that Fartlow got involved is where Thunder turned heel. Okay, that's what Phantasm is saying. Well, without further ado, let's get to the winner for Feud of the Year. We got to go with Mariah May, Toni Storm. This was cinema. Angel, your thoughts on this feud?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like cinema, literally cinema. Like the fact that they got together and it was all cutesy, and then Mariah's like, screw you, I'm out of here. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, banger of the year, and now we're turning to feud of the year. Definitely deserved Toni and Mariah May. Even though timeless Toni Storm's retired, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, timeless Toni Storm is retired. Not to be confused with the Tony Time Rookie of the Year that we really had, that's been really popular. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Now, in a little bit, we have a special guest with a very special award coming up here in a little bit. Hopefully, that person will be joining us in the green room here in just a few minutes. But now we're going to move on to Show of the Year. Now, we wanted to make sure that we made a rule that this was going to eliminate mainstream pay-per-views. We wanted to focus on, we didn't want to call this Independent Show of the Year, but we wanted to give a focus on independent shows out there. And lo and behold, 4 of the 5 are Mission Pro shows. Now, I can tell you, we have removed all bias, but the Mission Pro shows all the Mission Pro shows have been fantastic, but what a set of shows before we took a break for 2020 till now, 2025. However, Angel Marie, of these 5, which ones stand out to you? You've attended 4 of these 5, correct?
Yeah, I mean, all the Mission Pro shows this year, oh my gosh, were absolutely, like, each one had their moments, Sleepless. Izzy had won her first match at Sleepless. Going over to Mania, there was the whole, Thunder's gonna go against Ladybird, but then that didn't end up happening, And then at Summer Lovin', Izzy won the title, or wait, I believe it was Summer Lovin'.
I think Summer 11, and then there was Mission Pro Mania is when she won. I believe is when she won the cup from JP. Yeah.
Yes, and that awesome freaking the whole brawl she had with JP, crazy. And then winning the title at Summer 11, and then Midsummer Blast was a bit bittersweet. She defended against Thunder in the main event, and it was, oh my gosh, like all the Mission Pro events were. They each, they're each show of the year, but like for the month. So like February's show of the year is Sleepless in San Antonio and so on. Because I mean, they were all so great. And then with Ladies Night Out 14, that's the only non Mission Pro show on here. The Ladies Night Out was absolutely insane. So much women's wrestling that just got spotlighted on the whole pay-per-view. Izzy was there, It was absolutely insane, and it was so good to see how thriving the women's division is right now.
Absolutely. And if you need a reason to subscribe to Title Match Network, here are 5 reasons, because you can go back and watch each of these events, all of them worth the price of admission alone, but they are fantastic. We are super excited for any one of these, but there can be only one, and we've got to go with just one, and the winner is surprisingly the one that was not Mission Pro. Proving that our bias is not here. However, one could argue over half the roster In fact, almost 80% of the roster is either a Mission Pro current talent or a Mission Pro alumni. So it essentially is like a Mission Pro show. But if you haven't had a chance to go watch this incredible set of matches, from the hijinks between Lindsay Snow chasing Hollywood Haley J like the Terminator, to the incredible match that a couple people on here actually predicted would happen with
I don't know who that would be.
and Izzy. The incredible match of Thunder Rosa and Missa Kate. Missa Kate is one I expect to see back in Mission Pro very soon. I mean, Missa Kate is Missa Pro. Maybe she make it Missa Pro. That'd be cool.
Ooh.
But also Vix Crow was one that really, that's when I realized that Vix Crow has really impressed me. She, I will not dead name her now, but her match with Jordan Grace, and she won. I thought that was, I don't know who that Fox person was, but anyways, fantastic set of matches. They ran back La Rosa Negra and Masha Slamovich. What interesting is in that run back, Masha Slamovich was actually the baby face. La Rosa was actually kind of the heel. Whereas back when my favorite match, Mission Pro match of all time, where they faced it was at the pinball place. That was actually a different set. Anyways, fantastic, great stuff. Before we get to our special award, real quickly, we're going to talk about fan favorite of the year. We've got our fan favorites. We've got Thunder Rosa, Tatum Paxley, Chelsea Green, Harley Cameron, and Willow Nightingale. All have had fantastic years here. These are fan favorites. Very popular, not necessarily always going to be winning championships. Of course, Thunder Rosa and Willow have been very successful. But these have been, in our opinion, the most entertaining talent that's been out there. Of course, the Thunder Pop is still a thing. However, Angel, of course, there's a certain person on this list that you're very happy with.
Yeah, Tatum Paxley, little fan favorite for me. If it was up to me, I would have Tatum Paxley win this whole thing. But I digress.
Yes, you digress.
Throw my personal bias out the window. You know what I mean?
Looks like the chat's going crazy for Thunder here. So Thunder, I can totally see Thunder being a reason. Being there's a million reasons for this. There's also looks like Thunder or Willow. However, the most entertaining talent of the year goes to, this could be a controversial pick here, but the winner is Chelsea Green. Now, I now must read a notification here.
Oh,
here at Mission Pro Spotlight, Mission Pro Wrestling Industries are officially this is the official opinion, not of only the talent here at Mission Pro Spotlight. We hereby are declaring Chelsea Green the official fan favorite of the year due to our fear of being sued fear of legal action. We are officially legally obligated to say Chelsea Green, our America's champion, is fan favorite of the year. And sincerely, LLC. All right. Yes. So we are officially endorsing Chelsea Green to avoid legal action. But, but let's be honest, Angel. I mean, Chelsea has been killing it with the comedy, the trash stuff. As she's the U.S. champion. To us, she has really been making sure that all of us are entertained. Your thoughts? I mean, again, Thunder Rosa definitely deserved a lot of people deserve. However, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, honestly, everyone on the nominees list so freaking, oh my gosh, I love them all so much. But Chelsea, let me get it right. Chelsea Green. She has absolutely just crushed it with her character work this year. Like, oh my gosh, I love her. She's so crazy. The whole Karen thing. I love it. And then the okay, Miss Red, White, and Green. So everyone say it with me: red, white, and green. She's oh my gosh, she's so awesome. So I'm happy about her winning fan favorite.
Yeah, and again, this all the nominees. These have been the toughest. We've had a lot of conversations about all these. However, it's now time. I mean, we're having a lot of fun here, but
Yes.
we do take we take the work. We don't take ourselves as serious, but we take the work seriously. Promoting women's wrestling is huge. Elevating women's wrestling. We're huge fans, and that's what we all have in common. That's what really gives us joy. And we actually did lose a huge, kind-hearted soul this past year, a huge supporter of women's wrestling, huge supporter of Mission Pro, an icon in wrestling media, and probably one of the kindest gentlemen out there. And I'm talking, of course, of Trey D. I think anybody that has met Trey, I've unfortunately never met him face to face. It's only been interactions online, but many of you have been able to interact with him. And a true blessing to everybody that has had a chance to know Trey and his vision of We Love Wrestling. So one of the things that we all, at the wrestling community, especially Mission Pro, because he is Mission Pro family, we want to make sure that we honor his legacy and his vision. And one of the things we figure we'll do here at Mission Pro Spotlight, we'd like to keep this going, is to honor the media, the podcasts out there that are continuing to elevate, they're similar to our vision here at Mission Pro Spotlight, to elevate women's wrestling around the world. So we're introducing tonight the We Love Wrestling Award, and we have a very special presenter to present the award tonight. So without further ado, let's introduce our presenter for the We Love Wrestling Award.
Tonight, we honor the memory of one of the kindest souls and biggest supporters of women's wrestling with a very special award, highlighting a podcast that best represented Trey D's vision in 2024.
Like I always say, I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. It's too straight.
Hi.
Hey, Dora.
Hey.
Hello, Dora.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
Hey, hold on a second. A little allergies here.
No, I definitely was like tearing up. I was like, oh my gosh, don't put me on right away. Cause no.
Yeah.
I love the video. That was a good video package. I like that. That was straight from the intro too. So that was I like that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Welcome. And we love wrestling. That is, and Trey's immortal words. If I love wrestling, you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. And, there's so many of us out there that want to continue that spirit and the work that you've been doing to keep that going. And the, you have been a tremendous support for women's wrestling as well. But,
Thank you.
You wanted to particularly highlight some podcasts that are doing that work. They're taking that work forward. We've had the privilege here to have met Maddie and Mary from the Meet Us in the Ring Women's Wrestling podcast. And of course, a lot of us know the face for wrestling, Dr. The Wife.
Dr. The Wife, yeah.
Lipstick and Ladders, great. And of course, Women's Wrestling Talk. But Dora, talk to us a little bit about your, what's going on with We Love Wrestling. How's your experience been lately, hopping around and showing up on different podcasts? And of course, we'd like to make this your second home. But where you've been and what's been going on with women's wrestling for you.
I kind of just been, like you said, just hopping around pretty much from podcast to podcast, just as much as I can just talk about We Love Wrestling and women's wrestling, I'm pretty much just going anywhere that I can to be like, hey, look, let's talk about women's wrestling. So I have, I've been on with Lip Gloss and Ladders. Charm City Gabby has her own podcast that she does, and I've been on hers, and we've done an episode, and it was so good. I felt like I finally had met someone that was like not scared to say everything that I say, and she just like they just say it. Lip Gloss and Ladders is like, let's say it. So yeah, so I've been enjoying. I did do that with her. I am scheduled to do a podcast with TK. She did ask me to do one next week on the 8th, I believe. I
Nice.
have to, yeah, I have to figure out the time. You know, me with the time zones, I'm like, oh my gosh, just tell me the time so I can do the math. But yeah, and then Face for Wrestling, Dr. Wife, she does amazing. Like, I love her interviews. I loved her Miyu interview, probably the most. I haven't seen the Sumisaki yet. That one's on my list for
Mhm.
not today, but this week. But I had like hands down to her. For obviously she does women's wrestling and men's, but yeah, and then the wrestling wind down. I enjoy her podcast is so good. Like they drink their wine, they talk their women's wrestling and their merch. If no one has any of their merch yet, you got to get their merch. They always have the best like kind of like women's based merch
Mhm.
like I just love them. Like I love them so much. But that's kind of why I chose these four women. I don't have a fifth. I feel like there was another one, but I'm not too familiar with them. So I was like, I don't want to like not be able to like tell them later, like, hey, I wanted you to know. Um, but yeah, for the most part, everyone has been very welcoming. I do love you guys as my pretty much second home now. I've enjoyed it. Like I did do just like a end of the year thing, real or a live on the other day, and I did mention both of you. I was like, thank God for them for giving me just a space. Like I was like, Angel Mind Reader, like yes, yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well,
we're gonna so yeah.
you're welcome anytime, and of course, we're going to be hitting you up a lot too this year. We
Yes.
definitely want you on here. We've got some we got some cool activities coming up too. Some trivia night and the old theme song Turmoil might be reeling its head. So brush up on your women's wrestling theme songs. But
Yes.
of course, we've got to know of these four fantastic podcasts. By the way, make sure you like and subscribe to all four of them.
Everyone, yes.
They're really lifting women's wrestling up. They feel the same way. But there's only one that can win the first ever We Love Wrestling 2024. And that winner is
Yes, my
Lipsticks
girlies. I lip
and
gloss.
Ladders. So why of all those, why lipstick and ladders?
I would say just because I mean I know they're relatively new, they're building everything, so I feel like they deserve the award because they're putting in the work. Like they're going to the shows. They have I don't know if you have seen any of their podcasts, but if you know how you see people's backgrounds and it's just like all wrestling related stuff. If you see every single time you see these women's backgrounds, all four of them have their belts. They buy belts. They're like into all the merch. Like if I just love them because they're literally like so women's based. Not that they don't talk about men. I mean, obviously we're gonna have to include the men, but for the most part, they are very women based. They make sure that they're covering all the bases, I guess is the
Mhm.
term. I know they love Liv Morgan. I know how I feel about Liv Morgan. So I know I'm always like,
Oh
you
yeah,
Liv. And they're
I
like,
gotta
no, we
I gotta hear
love
that
Liv.
conversation. How that conversation
Yes.
went down. I bet that was very
Yes.
interesting.
I love it. But no, they're doing like I said, they're up and coming. So I feel like they deserve the awards so that this will help them, get even more eyes on them. I know we're a Texas-based company or you know what I mean? Like Mission
Mhm.
Pros in wrestling, like they're
Yep.
only in Texas, but um as if we can get their word at least south,
Mhm.
let's get their name
Oh,
out here so that we can kind of get their name traveled everywhere across the United States.
Angel Marie, I sense a collab coming up here between Lipstick and Ladders and Mission Pro Spotlight. We need to.
Ooh.
All right, is it Gabby and KB are in
Yes,
the
they're the
chat?
ones in lip gloss and ladders. They're two of
Look
the
at
Better
them. All
girls.
them.
right, let's our people call your people.
Yes,
We
definitely.
gotta
Yes,
get
and
together here.
you'll have a great time. They talk about anybody. They have their opinions. I feel like they talk about Mercedes, they talk about Liv, they talk about Rhea, they talk about Tony. Like, um, it's just, it's everybody. That's why I say like they're one of the one women podcasts that they're like their main focus is women. They have episodes where they pick their top woman of the week. Like they're good. They're great at covering. That's why I want them to I want to help get their numbers up. I want to help them get their name. And just so they can go ahead and try and like apply for media passes so they don't have to like even
Oh,
pay for
gotta get in
stuff.
that. We
I
gotta get
want them
them
to
in
get
the
high enough to
What
get media stuff. You know what I mean? That's what I want.
2025
Hmm.
2025 agenda. We got to get the Lipstick and Ladders in at least either an AEW or WWE scrum, if not both. That's our agenda. We're gonna make that the agenda. That's your orders. We got to get them out there. I might, we might have to put a little call into AW Media and scratch a couple backs over there and see what we can do.
Yes,
But
to definitely get them because they deserve it and they ask great questions. Like they're fantastic. I love the way they interview women, and I'm just telling you, they're the people to watch. They're the ones to watch. Not that the other podcasts aren't just as good, but these are the ladies to watch because they're up and coming. They've been on Black Wrestling. They went to war with Black Wrestling.
with the
The
war,
Black Wrestling podcast. So yeah, they it was tied. They tied.
oh,
There's still a tiebreaker coming. So definitely watch both of their podcasts
ooh,
also because they have like a thing that they're doing because they did do a show where for a PLE they all picked different people they thought would win and they ended up tying, so now they have to do a tiebreaker this year. So
I'm starting to see, maybe we can call Mary and Maddie from Meet Us in the Ring
mhm.
and then have our friends from Lipstick and Ladders. And maybe we should do either like a trivia or a theme song. We should do some kind of challenge. Maybe we should have the We Love Wrestling Cup or title
That'll be
and
so
the
cool.
all podcasts from
Cool.
all over. We'll remove ourselves from it. We'll host it, but we should actually
That would
have
be
some kind
cool.
of like trivia. It'll
Mhm.
be trivia. You got to name the theme songs and maybe a promo battle.
Ooh, that would be so cool.
Ooh.
I love that actually. That would be a cool little plan.
All right, well, we're gonna work on it. We're gonna and we'll get our
Yes,
people. Call your
definitely.
people. Dora will help us set that up.
Yes,
But
for sure.
I'm actually for that. We can even get a real
Yes.
title and set that up. Oh, and
Ooh,
maybe
nameplates, nameplates. Yes, we
name
gotta do it.
nameplate
Custom nameplates. Yes. That'd
when
be so fun.
Mission Pro returns in 2025. Notice I said when. When Mission Pro returns, maybe we could have a little presentation ceremony or some kind or something. I don't
That'd
know.
be so fun
We'll
to
work
bring them to Texas. Yes, that'd be
all
fun.
all all ideas out there. We're super stoked about that. We do have one final category, Dora. We'd love for you to stay with us on this one.
Okay. I
But
definitely
we do
can.
have one final category because in addition to the We Love Wrestling, I wanted to make sure I highlight, and I called it We Love Wrestling to highlight individuals out there that have been huge supporters and proponents for women's wrestling that have been for in 2024 have been just icons of not necessarily just fans but going above and beyond to promote and elevate women's wrestling. And you have to be a fan, of course, it's at the start, but to make sure to give that push for women's wrestling to support the women out there and globally, not just AEW or WWE, but all over the board. And I personally came up with these nominations. This is actually a surprise, I think, to even Angel Marie. I came up with these nominations myself. And the nominees are Xenia from XTT. Xenia did that. I don't know who the second person is with the pink cowboy hat. I think that's Angel Marie from Mission Pro Spotlight.
I think that's me.
I think that is you.
Oh
Dora
my god.
from We
Now
Love
you're putting
Wrestling.
bad bitches against each other,
Oh,
friends.
hey, it be like that sometimes.
No.
You know,
No.
Jennifer Lawrence sometimes has to go against, Selena Gomez. I don't know. I don't even watch the Oscars. And then, of course, Maddie from Meet Us in the Ring podcast. Who's this clown? Where did this guy come from? Who's this guy from CCG? Of course, we got Tommy in there. Tommy is, I mean, let's be real. Tommy is a tremendous supporter of women's wrestling.
He is.
And
Yes, and he'll quarrel with the women.
Oh, yeah.
He makes Tita. Yes, they'll go to war.
he will.
Oh my
he will
gosh.
run his mouth. Yes, he will. And then, of course, TK Trinidad, who we've talked to recently. TK is fantastic. And again, bias aside, I have to put my bias aside. Of course, I love all these ladies. I mean, all these ladies and
sir.
and
man.
and of course, my tag team partner is a phenomenal supporter of women's wrestling. Definitely deserves the nomination. It was very tough too. And not just the threat of the kendo stick flag that she might take to me, but truly in the spirit of We Love Wrestling, and truly someone that is a supporter of women's wrestling, despite everything going on with this person, including recovering from an auto accident. The winner for the We Love Wrestling award, I feel like out of all of these people, there's just one name I feel like that truly personifies, once again, honoring Trey D's philosophy. But she has appeared on multiple podcasts, including Lipsticks and Ladders. We're talking about just one person deserves this win.
Oh, thank you.
Laura, truly, and this is we had to put bias aside, of course. We had to be this honest. I can't think of, everybody, there's so many supporters of women's wrestling out there. Xenia is super fired up. Just in a debate about equality with Xenia and about feminism, she'll go toe to toe. Of course, TK, there's so many, and Angel Marie is fantastic. Angel, I personally chose her to be my co-host because of how supportive she is of women's wrestling. We both have the same philosophies and stuff. And,
thank you.
And if you haven't, you already can see, just in that interview she had with Tita. This is a future media star / she's going to probably step in the ring too. Hybrid wrestling, you never know. You might be getting a new
That would be so cool.
But Dora, we got to give it to you. You have been a phenomenal Hermosa. Did I say that? Hermosa?
Hermana.
All I know is I'm T.O. Frio. That's all I know. But you've been a tremendous part of our family here. We love getting to know you. We love that you're supportive of women's wrestling and taking your time taking time out of your day to support us, to support all the other podcasts out there that are supporting women's wrestling. So this is our way of saying thank you.
Thank you. This is unexpected too. I didn't even know you were doing this. I thought we were only doing the Trey one. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Because we wanted to make sure that the individual got that as well. So
thank you.
Thank you. And again, thank you everybody for your continued support of women's wrestling and we're looking forward to it. I want to go to Dora and then Angel Marie. Your predictions for 2025. Did we do Future Star? You know what? We do have Future Star, I think, coming up here. I don't think we did that one yet, did we? Oh, we did. We did do Future Star.
I thought we did.
The Rising Star. I got that. Yeah, I got that wrong.
Yeah.
Your predictions for 2025 in women's wrestling. I'm going to start with Dora, then I'm going to go with Angel Marie, and I'll close out with some predictions of my own. What do you see going on this year? What are some things you're looking forward to?
I guess
And
what I'm hoping for, I'm hoping that I'm gonna sound like such a hater, but I'm hoping that Liv finally drops the belt to Rhea, just so that we can get, like the IO feud. We can start having more women. I mean, I know they do have the new belts that the last one between Lyra and Dakota is the next belt, but I feel like that'll open up other avenues so that people aren't just going for Nia, because I mean this year obviously like there wasn't too many challengers for Liv to go against. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping if they drop it to Rhea, she'll have more. But I'm hoping at least if they do keep Liv with the title, she defends it a little more because there's so much good talent. We have so many more people, and I mean they are opening the portal up to move people around. So I am hoping we get some move ups from NXT like
Yeah.
Jakara, Lash Legend.
Roxy.
Um,
Excuse
yeah,
me, Roxy.
hopefully. I mean, I don't want her to lose the belt, but definitely I think Roxy, Jada Parker, I think they're
Ooh,
ready. I think they're ready. Lola Vice. I feel like I only want Lola Vice to come up because I want to see her against Zoe, and I think she needs the rematch with Shayna. So I definitely feel like I need to see that. And then honestly, for AEW, I need Thunder to get her belt back.
yes, yes.
I need Thunder to. I mean,
Yes.
I love Mariah's storyline, but I need I need that gold back around Thunder Rosa's waist, because she is such a titan, and she's just like, I want to see her do so many more matches. She's been doing so amazing since she came back and needs it. And then I guess who else? I'm hoping, whenever Mission Pro does come back, I have been loving Izzy's reign.
Mhm.
She's out here still defending. So hopefully once she gets back, we can see, hopefully they pick a really good opponent for her. Um, I guess yeah, that would be it. I mean, as far as like Texas wrestling, Maya World, I hope they get the belt back. Kaya Dreams in Texas now. I know she was in Georgia or Florida, I can't remember, but she's
Yeah.
in Texas now over at Reality of Wrestling with Booker T. I know they're a WWE ID school. Same thing I hope for Jazz's school, the Dog Pound. I hope we
Mhm.
can get a lot more we like more women over there to train with her with Jazz, and just keep building women's wrestling this year as big as we can, because it grew so fast this year. I feel like there's no stopping us now. The women are gonna have to take over. So
Already. Yeah, exactly. And I always talk about the women are stepping up to the point where the men are starting to get nervous. They're starting to go, wait a
yes,
second, we got to step it up now. Angel Marie,
yes.
your predictions for
Mhm.
2025. I mean, I echo a lot of what Dora was saying.
Yeah, like a lot of the things that Dora said, like I definitely agree with. But one of the like, if I had to choose like specific prediction, um, I don't know. I feel like women's wrestling is just really, really. I mean, women's wrestling was unstoppable in 2024, but I feel like it's just gonna get even better in 2025. That's my prediction. I hope that maybe like WWE has just like a specific, I've literally talked about this so much, like a specific hour, 2 hour long, just pure women's wrestling weekly show. I
Yes,
honestly,
AEW as well.
I really want to see that. And like, I'm hoping my prediction's right. Like, I feel like that'd be really fun to see, you know what I mean? And, I just hope freaking women's wrestling, I just hope it just flourishes in 20, and I know it will, because I mean, if it was unstoppable in 2024, I mean, we're only going up in 2025. So I can't wait to see what this year brings for women's wrestling.
Oh, well said. Very well said, both of you. I agree 1,000%. We are in a women's wrestling renaissance, and we're just at the beginning. We're just getting the taste of it. I think we're going to see Jordan Grace show up in WWE. I think we're going to see a lot of the current top stars in NXT are going to start to go up to WWE. There's a lot of room in the main roster for Roxy, I want that Jada Parker, Rhea
Mhm.
Ripley. Here's what I want: Royal Rumble. I want Rhea Ripley to get an early number, and I want her to kind of almost do a Brock Lesnar where she's dominating, and then she's by herself, and then Jada Parker. And I want that face-to-face Rhea Ripley, Jada Parker. I think that would be the first of many of a huge feud you can develop. There's going to be so much going through there. I think there's so much going there. AEW, same thing. Thunder Rosa, and again, no bias.
No, exactly. No bias.
Convention aside, Thunder Rosa is reinventing women's wrestling from her lights out match with Britt Baker. When she, I still talk about her using the table as a ramp for that kick, the thunder kick, what have you, the stuff that she's doing there. I think that AEW Shockwave, I think they need to consider Shockwave just being a women's only show. I think that would be tremendous. And
cool.
I am with you, C. Henry. The only reason I think Athena is still on Ring of Honor is I think they're trying to work a TV deal. And if they get you're going to want Athena still with Ring of Honor on there. But can you imagine the pop? And I almost thought it would happen last night on Dynamite, was when Mercedes Moné was out there running her mouth, CEO. I was waiting for the Fallen Angel theme to hit. Can you imagine Athena versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS title? I mean, all day long. I heard some rumors. Now, again, this is just rumors. I have my sources out there. But I have, as you know, my better half is a Chicago native, and there was a major wire transfer, if you will, transfer of funds from a certain CEO to some people, some wrestlers in Chicago. I don't know if there's any wrestlers in Chicago that go to Mission Pro, but I heard rumors that there might be a CEO trying to recruit some talent to maybe beat up to take out our current Mission Pro champion. Now, I don't know. This is all rumors, so just be careful. Watch your back. But I don't know if there's powers that be are conspiring to take you down a peg or two. But we'll see. I do know that All In Dallas, Texas, or outside Dallas to Arlington, right? Or All In Texas is going to be incredible. And it'd be incredible to see Mission Pro represent there too. It'll be interesting to see if somebody finishes the story in Texas.
Not Chicago. If you're telling me it's the Chicago sweetheart, I'm gonna be so hurt by her doing this to Izzy.
She's a sweetheart. Well, there's a couple out there. There's the Chicago sweetheart. There's the little fish also is a Chicago native. So there's a couple out there. But I have a feeling at All In, I think, Shawn Michaels, Booker of the Year. I think he's been booking the NXT. I also think we're going to see Thunder Rosa get another shot at the title at All In. And I say spend the money, get AC/DC Thunderstruck, and have Thunder come in like Shawn Michaels, on the zip line, and the place will go wild. Anyways, this has been phenomenal. Thank you, Mission Pro family, for this wonderful ride that we're continuing to go on. Angel Marie, Dora, I love you both. You're my sisters or my nieces, because I'm the Tio Frio, whatever. Anyways, thank you so much for making this so much more fun for me. I'm having a blast. I've been a fan of women's wrestling since I was a little shredder watching Glow and having a crush on Nanichka and Mount Fiji. Anyways, thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Pepe, stay hydrated, or at least carbohydrated. On behalf of Dora the Explorer, Angel Marie, this is Midrunner saying good night, and we'll see you next week.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.